not. Rogers is, yeah, it's a screen.
Up the middle screen to Adams. Ooh, he got popped in the face.
Oh my!
Mouth guard comes out, and they're asking for help right away.
Jim, oh no!
And a flag.
That looked bad. That's got to be a defenseless receiver. You can't hit to the neck or helmet.
Trevathan and Rogers are still jawing.
It's a silly play. It's a screen pass. There's no, I mean, you got 10 blockers. Look, he's already.
Chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE for short, is a unique neurodegenerative disease that affects individuals with a history of exposure to repeated head trauma. Athletes in professional high-impact sports such as boxing, hockey, and football experience the onset of CTE later in life. An alarming number of former NFL players are being diagnosed with CTE, this progressive form of cognitive impairment associated with repetitive mild trauma to the brain. In 2017, Boston University conducted a study involving over 100 deceased former NFL players. The study found that CTE was present in 99% of the test subjects. 110 out of 111 NFL brains showed signs of CTE, thus becoming the most convincing study showing the link between CTE and football. The data directly suggests that participating in football can lead to brain disease. The deterioration of the brain comes with a plethora of side effects. Many former players experience the decline of their cognitive state after their years in the league, which can be directly traced to head trauma and CTE. This decrease in mental cognition affects their decision-making and actions, making them harmful to themselves and others. Common side effects of CTE include depression, memory loss or dementia, aggression, and insomnia. These deadly side effects are ruining the lives of once former NFL athletes. With CTE cases rising in deceased former players, the NFL must realize that they must act on this issue. It is evident that over the past few decades, the National Football League has not been putting forth its greatest efforts to combat CTE. Funding and research are very low, as the safety of health and players are being sacrificed for money and entertainment. The NFL launched an $100 million campaign towards medical research and advancements. However, the NFL has only conducted one major study with this money. Not only did the NFL only conduct one study, but they used horse jockeys as test subjects instead of NFL players. How can any progress be made against head injury when the NFL itself refuses to dedicate resources and time towards the cause?
Very closely, what more will this mean for the game?
Well, I had an extensive conversation after the press conference with Al Riveron, the vice president of officiating for the National Football League. And he said the intent here is this is broad-based all over the field for all players, not just defensive players. So if a guard or a tackle is pulling and blocking, if he lowers his head to initiate contact, that will be a foul, and that is a significant change on how you play football at the professional level, and they understand that. Let's say you're a 240-pound H-back on a wham block on a 300-pound defensive tackle. There's no question you have to lead with your hat, your helmet. Now, if you do that to lower your head and initiate contact, this will be a foul. And what they will try to do in the next couple of months is go around to the NFL, different cities, different teams, show players what is good.
Though efforts by the NFL have been slim in the fight against CTE and other forms of brain trauma, the possibility of a safer NFL is not far out of reach. Changes in rules and equipment can have a great effect on the number of concussions that occur within the NFL. The addition of new helmets and the banishment of certain helmets led to a noticeable decrease in concussions that occurred in the 2018 season. These changes are good, but are still not enough to ensure the safety and future health of these players. The NFL must take responsibility for these constant brain injuries and initialize a plan that is safe and effective. How many more players are we going to have to lose to CTE for the NFL to finally make a change? The time for that change is now.